Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Benediction Gamer aka PokéXebz back again with another video. And today, as you can see, continuation of my NPC trials, and from the title you may see, today we're going to be playing as the Dragon Tamer. So the Dragon Tamer, this one's going to be a lot of fun, purely using Dragon Pokemon, which, let's be honest, I think most people's favourites. But let's have a quick breakdown on the team now. So looking at the 6 Pokemon that we're going to be using, we're going to be using Dragapult, Goodra, Dragonite, Baxcalibur, Salamence and Haxorus. Feel free to pause it now if you want to check out the move sets and the items that we're going to be running. And without further ado, let's get into the gameplay and see how many games we can win out of best of 3. And okay, getting into game 1 now, and it looks like we're going to be up against a favourable matchup to begin with. So Dragonite and a Garchomp lead, that's going to be quite nice for us. So we're going to be coming in with a Haxorus and the Baxcalibur. You're going to see this is fairly common for me. I'm going to open with these two in most games. One because Caliber, it has the ability to use Ice Shard, giving us the priority to hit first, and like we see there, it's managed to, even with the low damage, the 40%, managed to get the Oko there. I am running a Never Melt Ice to boost that. And then the other reason we're going to bring the Haxorus in is because I've got it Focus Sash, so hopefully if we come up against any other dragons or something with a Fairy or Ice move, if they're only putting a single attack into there, we're going to be able to withstand and put in some damage like we've done there. And Garchomp's definitely in range to be Ice Sharded now, and then we know we shouldn't be taking any damage from that. And then hopefully, if we're going to be winning the speed matchup here, we can still at least get a hit on the Haxorus before the inevitability of it probably going down, because I would imagine that their Electros has elected to go for the Haxorus, but we'll see how it goes. So Ice Shard into the Garchomp there, and beautifully both their Dragon Pokemon down. And yes, as we say, we've managed to get a move off there. Dragon Claw, massive amount of damage. Unfortunately, just a sliver, not enough. Which has allowed them to get the Drain Punch off and get a little bit of healing in. But we know we're still in good position to move on to do a bit more damage. The real question is, why didn't they attack Haxorus with the Electros there? Interesting decision for me. I think potentially would have been the better of the two to go for. So you see, we're going to go for Ice Shard again. Let's keep just trying and go for the priority. And then we're going to be trying to go for a Crunch if we can win the speed matchup. I think we're going to be putting in a significant amount of damage in the Ceruledge, but it's in good stead moving on. Now, I could have opted to Terra here as well. That probably would have been quite beneficial if I did Terra into the Baxcalibur and just brought up the Fire Terra that we're currently running. Offer protection against the Ceruledge, but as we can see, he's targeted the Haxorus, so we're right instead. So at this point, let's bring in the Dragonite. I think both the Dragonite and the Dragapult were both going to be winning the speed matchup, so it's not going to be really going to be an issue for us. We're also still got our priority attack, so let's keep going in there with that. As we've seen, if you've watched my last video, guys, the Swimmer Girl challenge, priority move's been doing very well for me. It does seems to be a priority move meta, but there. Last priority move, Ice Shard in there. We've managed to get a game 1 win, off to a fantastic start. So let's see, going into game 2 now, can we keep the lead? Can we be much like the Swimmer challenge and go 100%? Or are we going to lose one? So let's see. Going into this one, again, not too bad a matchup for us. So against the Roaring Moon, I think Ice Shard's going to be putting in pretty good damage. If we don't get the finish off here, I'm going to be going for a Breaking Swipe. It's going to be hitting both the opponents, hopefully putting a decent bit of damage into the Roaring Moon. And yeah, the fact that we're sashed, hopefully we're not going to be going down to an attack from the Iron Bundle. Just be curious to see what Roaring Moon has to put out itself. So we see Icy Wind from the Iron Bundle, a bit of an annoying attack, but it didn't work out too bad because Haxorus has managed to avoid that attack, and the speed's not so critical on the Baxcalibur because we're running a priority move, so that's not going to affect us too much. We're still going to be able to get that priority move off, if nothing else. And as we can see now, Ice Shard should be enough to get the job done on the Roaring Moon. So this will be a fantastic start for us. And I'm thinking at this point, with my Haxorus, do we look to double up into the Roaring Moon to ensure the finish. Although I do believe the damage calculation I'd done earlier was correct, and as we can see it was. Managed to get the finish off there onto the Roaring Moon. So fantastic. Now we can see what sort of damage are we going to be taking. So that's going to look to take us all the way down, but luckily we've got that sash on. Keep that 1 HP in there so we can get a little bit of chip damage into the iron bundle now. And again, fantastic bit damage, but much like when we attacked the Electros in last game, just managed to last with a sliver of health. But we've got our Baxcalibur with our priority move, as we say. It shouldn't matter that we've had our speed taken down. We should be able to come in here and Ice Shard now. And as you see, we're going to come up with a defensive terror so that if this Iron Hands now wants to come in with a fighting move, we're going to be taking less damage. We're going to see how this play goes for us. How long can our 1 HP Haxorus stay in there? 1 HP in a dream, baby. 1 HP in a dream. I have a dream that all Pokemon. It's what 2 things I hate in life: being put to sleep and fake out. Both cretinous strategies. Says the man who just sat in a bug challenge putting everything to sleep. But you know, if you can't beat them, join them. So we see a little bit of an unfortunate play for us. That's worked out quite well for them. Managed to get the fake out onto Baxcalibur. That's managed to pause the game for them for a little bit. And unfortunately Haxorus has now succumbed to all the damage taken. But you know, Haxorus, he did his job. I think the Focus Sash is serving nicely. I think we see the initial setup of these two is quite viable. Now it could look to be, I think Dragon Claw, Breaking Swipe, definitely 2 viable moves on the Haxorus. We could potentially be looking for a third better move to be placing on it than I'm currently running. I'm trying to remember exactly how it's Crunch. No, Crunch is fairly viable. And obviously Dragon Dance if we have the ability to get it off, which, well, to be honest with you, running the Focus Sash, most of the time we probably would have had the abilities to get it off, but it wasn't in my plan of thinking, really. So let's see how we can do here. So Baxcalibur, probably going to have a chance to get 1 more attack off here. Now I'm debating here, Pelipper, do we go for the Pelipper or for the Iron Hands? But I think Pelipper will probably going to be putting more damage into. But on reflection, it wasn't the highest damage. So it seems to be quite a bit of bulk on the Pelipper. But we should be winning the speed matchup next round on the Salamence, so hopefully this is going to put us in good stead going forward. Taking a fine opponents there, not too much damage, reasonable. We're now going to come in with the Dragapult, and hopefully, well, I think Dragon Darts is probably going to be the play that we're going to try and go for. We're going to try and chase it out with Dragon Darts if we can. Now, I was debating, do we go for a Dragon Dance on the first play? Was not the best move to go for, or are we going to take too much chip damage to be able to get Dragon Dance off? It was a ponderous one. Upon reflection, potentially should have gone for it, but I'd be curious to know your guys' thoughts on that one. In this position, do you think it would have been better to go for the Dragon Dance or straight into the attacks? So we see going in there with the Dragon Dance, pretty good damage onto the Pelipper, but unfortunately not quite enough. He's managed to withhold in there with just enough health, managed to get a Hurricane in there and a Confusion onto the Salamence, which may prove problematic. And yes, really not ideal in this position. We can see not going to be taking damage from the Earthquake though, which is fantastic, and not too much damage onto the Dragapult. So we're still in a reasonable good position. I would say the enemy has done well to get themselves back into this position. Very lucky with this Confusion, I have to say, but let's go for a Protect now. And can you believe it? The one time You really want to move to work and it doesn't. Somebody doesn't know how Dragapult works. He's gone for a wide guard here, but that's not going to help you, my friend. My attack will penetrate. I'm going to see fantastic. Managed to get the Pelipper off, taking a reasonable bit of damage from the Thunder Punch. So at this point I'm thinking we've probably got 2 attacks in us. What is the best play to go for? Dragon Darts, we've just seen that it didn't put in too much chip damage. Now obviously we're going to be putting in two attacks this time rather than the 1, but I question, is it going to be enough? So let's go fingers crossed that we can play for the Phantom Force. Also hoping that they are not running Protect. We haven't seen it thus far on the Iron Hands. And Phantom Force coming in there, it looks like the range is not going to be enough, so we're not going to be able to go for a second Phantom Force. I say we're debating going for a Dragon Dance there as well, and then hoping that we could come in with Dragon Darts or a Phantom Force at the end. So Dragon Darts now, can we get enough damage? Unfortunately not. So it looks like in this one we are going to end up losing. It's a really close battle, really well fought, but unfortunately sometimes the cards don't fall all your way. So 1 for 1 now. Let's get into the last game, see if we can end on a positive. And again, see, coming up against another dragon. So that is, as I felt quite confident going into this challenge, because there's a lot of dragons currently being run in the meta. So we knew that we'd at least be putting out a reasonable bit of damage in those sort of matchups. So coming up against an Among Us now, so we're most likely going to be encountering a Rage Powder here. So I think the best play yet, we go for an Ice Shard. It's going to be putting out great damage on either of the 2. And I say, again, was debating, do we go for a Dragon Dance on the Haxorus now? And obviously, seeing as they've played the Protect onto the Garchomp, I think it would have been the play to go for. But alas, when you're running up against the Among Us as well, which has the ability to Spore, it does leave you questioning, is it worth doing these things? Or is it worth trying to get in there straight with the attacks, deal with them straight from the off? But as we see, a little bit of a misplay by going straight into the Garchomp, who's protected. If we'd have gone for the Among Us with the double attack, we would have seen a better result. So looking now, so Baxcalibur is going to be asleep for this turn, so I think best option here is probably going to be to switch Baxcalibur out, because ideally we're going to be trying to save the Ice Shard, because like we've seen in our first matchup, the priority attack was really what got us the win in the end, as well as this Focus Sash Haxorus, but mainly that priority attack. So let's try and keep the priority attack up and well as we can, and also we know that there's a good chance we're taking a dragon attack from the Garchomp, which would not put us in good stead. So we're going to see that Haxorus unfortunately down, but allows us to come in now with the Dragapult, which I'm pretty much 100% certain is going to be winning the speed matchup against Garchomp. So we're going to see what sort of damage we can do now, and we know that Among Us most likely is going to be trying to come in with a Rage Powder now, but I believe we're going to come in with the move Dragon Darts. Hopefully it shouldn't matter, we can come in with enough damage. I mean, when I see Among Us on the field, I want to try and get rid of it as soon as possible, but when we've got a dragon on the field as well, which we know can put out a decent bit of damage to us, it does leave me in a precarious position. Which Pokemon do we try and target first? But that's why we've gone for the defensive terror here onto the Dragapult, make ourselves a little bit bulkier. And we see the Protect coming up onto the Garchomp, but your Spore play is no longer working. A nice bit of Ice Shard onto the Among Us now, great damage, and now coming in with the Dragon Darts. double damage. Get down, baby. Now, Dragon Dart's for me one of the nicer animations in the game. Guys, let me know one of your favourite move animations. Leave a comment below. And so guys, this your experience is maybe one of the most frustrating moments of my life. One of the most frustrating, battle moments, experiences of my life. This Arbeliever. I definitely need to build an Arbeliever. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Be very curious to see how this Pokemon matches up in the meta, but let's see. Okay, so coming in with an Ice Shard now on the Arbeliever. I think let's try and get it off as soon as possible. We know it's going to be giving healing to the team, so, but then also going to be giving a little healing to us as well. Nice, could pan out nicely. We'll see how this one goes. I'm saying not familiar with Arbeliever myself, not having run it too much, so be curious to see what sort of moveset they're running. As we see, coming in with a Strength Sap there, so it's not ideal. Say we don't mind having speed taken off our Baxcalibur, not so much attack. That's not ideal for us. And well, even less ideal is the Arbeliever coming back up to full health after we've taken a reasonable amount of damage off it. So yeah. Turns out Arbeliever somewhat viable, I guess. We'll see. Does it have any attacking moves and what sort of damage can we be putting out, or is it going to be similar one to? I'm trying to remember in which video it was, but there was a game we came into where there was a Pokemon that it didn't have any damaging moves, so we just focused one slot. I'm wondering, is this a similar case, or is there an attacking move on this? I mean, continually Strength Sapping is going to be an option, especially, well, as it's debating to me as well. Do I want to focus into the Arbeliever slot, knowing that I'm probably not going to knock it out, and at that point it's probably just going to use Strength Sap and go straight back up? Should I be double focusing into the other slot? But as I say, at this point I'm still not sure, is Arbeliever running an attacking move, and what do I need to worry out for? So we're going to see here, going for the Terrestrialized on the Arbeliever, get even a little bit more bulkier. But yeah, it's not going to be the greatest play. If we were running, I put two Dragapult builds, so this one's going to be the attack build. If I'd have brought my special attacking Dragapult, then yeah, which probably would have been better for this team design, based on the fact that pretty much everyone else in the team is a physical attacker. It would have been a good option actually. Because it's definitely always good to have a mix, so you're not put into this sort of issue that I'm put into now, where it's taking all my attack, he's putting out not the greatest damage. So it is to the point where I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to kill the Arbeliever. So it is probably better to focus into this second slot at the moment. But I say, if I'd have brought that special Dragapult, which I believe had access to use Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Dragon Pulse, I believe. Which yeah, it was a nice spread for sure. Well, yeah, we all know how Dragon Pulse does in the speed meta, so yeah, for me, I prefer the special build on the Dragapult, but I know why we all like to build it in attack, especially with the Dragon Darts move. So we're going to see now how this one pans out for us. So coming in there, Delibird, he's managed to get the Freeze off, and worse still, he's managed to get the Freeze onto the Dragonite, so that is really not great for us. We've lost even more attack as well. Arbeliever back up to full health. But at this point we've seen no attack move from the Arbeliever, so at this point I am fairly certain that is not running an attacking move whatsoever. So we're going to put all of our focus into the second slot. We get rid of this, then I feel fairly confident in the game, and coming away with a second victory, having 66% win rate from this challenge, and yeah, we can call it a success again, and that'll be the Dragon Tamer challenge complete. Moving on to the next one, which I believe coming up next is going to be the Pokemaniac challenge, so keep a lookout for that one, guys. So grass is disappearing from the field now, so a little bit less healing coming into their team, although is it going to make a difference because all the healing is still there? I believe it's still going to get its health back, isn't it? So let's come in now and hope that we can get enough damage into the Dragapult. Dragapult's my Pokemon. Get enough Pokemon damage into their Iron Bundle, and then at this point, I say fairly comfortable, as long as we can kill the Arbeliever in enough turns that we'll be putting out enough damage. Scary moment there with the freeze dry coming in, but unfortunately we've managed to withstand that. Good damage onto the Iron Bundle with the Dragon Darts, so I think, yeah, Body Press is going to come in, get that finish, and guys, we could be on our way to this victory, but let's just see. Arbeliever, what does it have to put out, and does it have an attacking move? I mean, if you can take out my Dragapult, it could be a little bit of an issue. It's got the Leech Seed up. If you can buy enough turns, this could be an issue for myself. But we'll just see. Does he have the ability to stall? Because I think, I say, without two Pokemon in the field, I'm unsure if we're actually going to be able to take this Arbeliever down. Especially if I have to, yeah, rely on the Excalibur, which has already had quite a few attack stat strains. So we'll come in with a super effective attack now, due to them switching to the Steel Terra type. So yeah, they may have thought that was a good one to get them more bulk, but it worked out quite nicely for us in the end. But yeah, leftovers, Leech Seed, and the ability to use Strength Sap. It's yeah, it's a dirty mon, this one. I say this battle could have been a 5-minute battle, but instead it's a 15-minute battle. But we're going to come in now with a Phantom Force. We see how much damage we get. Really good bit of damage there, nice bit of chip damage. And it doesn't matter that you're running Protect. Again, someone doesn't know how Dragapult works, so would have been better to go for the Strength Sap there. I believe then I would have put her in a lot better stead. The ability then potentially to then actually go for the Leech Seed as they've done previously onto the Dragapult, and then potentially they could stall their way out to the win. But at this point it's looking like we're in good position to get the finish. I think Body Press and a Dragon Darts should get the finish for us here. It should be enough damage, and we can finally get rid of this wicked thing that is Arbeliever. Not quite as much hatred for this as Gimmighoul, but it's definitely ranking up there, guys, after this game. But fantastic, we've managed to get the devil off the field, and we've managed to go 2 wins from the 1, so fantastic, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, and yes, 2 from 1, 66%, we'll take it. And so, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, that was the Dragon Tamer challenge. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as me. Pretty fun one there, and I think we can call that a successful run. 2 wins from the 3 games, and the game that we lost was a very close one, a little bit of a toss-up. Just lost the damage battle near the end, but yeah, all round great experience, so definitely recommend running this one yourself, trying this team out. A lot of fun. And guys, yeah, if you've got any suggestions for teams or challenges you think I should run, just go ahead and leave them in the comments. Be sure to check them out. And as always, if you enjoy these challenges, hit the subscribe button and stick around for more. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Keep it holy.